Here we are. We are at the very first SeekOut Sourcing Showdown ever, and we're super excited to be here. So my name's Jeremy Roberts, and I am with SeekOut. Now, for those of you who don't know SeekOut, SeekOut is a sourcing and recruiting tool. We have hundreds of millions of candidates, and we can search your applicant tracking system, your CRM, really just a great way to identify and engage candidates. But today, what we're focused on, there's one specific feature in SeekOut that is basically really advanced Boolean strings that we make it possible. We call them power filters. We make it possible with one click to start a search so that even your brand new sourcers, brand new people to the industry, maybe a really good senior recruiter who's never become a database mining expert can just push one button and be narrowed in on the exact focus they should be working on, right? And then they can add a few keywords and find the exact candidate they need. So those are called power filters. Now, what we've done today is we've brought in two experts who have won multiple sourcing challenges, each of them. And we're going to let them kind of duke it out, and the winner will get a power filter named after them. So it's going to be very cool. Now, before we go too far, I want to introduce everybody on the call. So first off, we'll start with our contestants. So Cyndy Davis. Cyndy, give us a real quick intro. Tell us about yourself.
I am a principal sourcer at Uber in the engineering group. I've been doing this about, 100 years. And I'm the 2018 SourceCon Grandmaster.
That is awesome. SourceCon Grandmaster, that is a big deal in the sourcing community. Everybody knows that, right? So I'll give a round of applause. I got my little sound machine here today. All right, Susanna, let's contestant number 2, Susanna.
Hi, I'm Susanna. I'm friends with Cyndy, so hopefully this won't be too incredibly vicious, or maybe it will, we'll see. But I am actually a kindergarten teacher turned Boolean babe. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. I don't want to date myself, so we'll go with that. And I have won 3 SourceCon hackathons and am no longer allowed to compete. So I face them now.
That is awesome. Now you have to help create them probably, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Really
so the difference, the SourceCon Challenge, for anybody who doesn't know, the SourceCon Challenge is kind of leading up to the event. It's like an online thing everybody does from home for sometimes months, but definitely weeks before the event. And then the hackathon is a bunch of people in a room at night during SourceCon, all happening at the exact same time, right? So they're both very difficult and very different, right? One is kind of a long-term, multiple stage thing. And then another one is really intense. You're against the clock, right? So they're very different, both not easy. So very cool. Now we're going to pivot to the judging panel. So we'll start with Anoop. Go ahead, Anoop.
Hi, everyone. I am Anoop, co-founder and CEO of SeekOut. Just delighted to have Susanna and Cyndy here. And I think it will be a great learning session for all of us, how to become better at what we do. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for joining us, and excited to be here.
Excellent. And then Eric Jaquith. Eric has been around the industry for a long time and always a great source of information. Eric, go ahead and give a quick intro.
Yeah, I am the newest member of SeekOut, actually. I joined about a month ago, and prior to that, I was in practitioner. I was actually still recruiting and helping recruiters train and developing teams around the country and world. So I love the tool and love to see how I can make better searches faster.
All right. Now, one of the problems I have with this whole new situation, Eric is someone who's always made me look good. He's one of those peers that I have that I call him once a week and he gives me really good ideas. And then I execute them and whoever I work for thinks I'm really smart. But now he works at the same company as me. So I have a problem. So anyway, All right, Shally.
Hi, I'm Shally. You can call me Shally.
Yeah.
Intros. So I wrote several of the SourceCon Grandmaster challenges, especially the ones early on, and helped write many others, like the World's Greatest Sorcerer and a few others like that. Let's see, I've been doing this since I think about 3 or 4 months after they put in new batteries on the internet. Jake and I go way, way back. We've done some gigs together as contract recruiters and sorcerers, and so yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit too long in the tooth here when it comes to sourcing. But you know, my area of expertise and focus has always been to focus on really practical, pragmatic ways to make tools do things that they're not supposed to do. As Anoop will tell you, I many times have tried to, and successfully, broken SeekOut to test things out and help improve it. So I'm really here to just kind of take a look at the mechanics of all of this and hope to contribute in some way, hopefully.
That's awesome. Now, I'm not going to tell you where I worked or pay you anything at this point. It's been a while, but my first exposure to Shally was somebody who sat next to me, went to his Shallynar in 2008 and got a PDF called, like, with Job Machine written on it or something like that.
The sourcing cheat sheet.
And I made copies for everyone. So
published in 2003.
Sorry, Shally, we only paid for one person, right?
Yeah.
But
it was the best $9 we ever spent, right?
Yeah, it was great. $9 and fed a very large search firm. So
yep.
The story, I'm sure you feel the story of your your early days, right?
That's that's still my billing rate right now. It's $9 a day.
$9 a day.
Charge,
that's perfect. Thank you for fitting that's a half hour in and reducing it so much. Now we have Ed Pedini. Ed is our head of customer success at SeekOut. And so he is here. He's not officially a judge today, but he is here, and I'm glad he's here because he can give a lot of insights into how things work. So Ed, feel free to speak up if you see anything you want to weigh in on. You want to give a quick intro, Ed?
Hi, everybody. I'm just along for the ride today. Super excited to be here for our first ever SeekOut Sourcing Showdown. I'm sure this is going to be the first of many, and I'm thrilled to see what everybody can come up with today. I'll leave it in your good hands, Jeremy, but this is going to be a fun event. So welcome to our guests, welcome to our judges, but most importantly, welcome to everybody who's watching. We hope you find this as fun, as informative as we think it will be.
And to Susanna's dog. This cute dog, by the way. All right, by the way, this was Ed's idea. Ed said, wouldn't it be cool if we had people compete to have a power filter? And so thank you, Ed. And now let's get to it. All right, so we're going to start with the prompt that these two contestants were given. Web application front-end engineers with data visualization experience who could build something like the SeekOut Insights tab. All right, so once again, web application front-end engineers with data visualization experience who could build something like the SeekOut Insights tab. So let me jump really quick. I want to show you what that even looks like. So I'm going to jump into SeekOut really fast. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna actually use a power filter really fast so that you guys can see what a power filter does, and then I'll show you the Insights tab, all right? So right here, I'm gonna go with user experience. Now you'll see it'll say, oh look, we have a power filter for that, and I click user experience, I click UI UX designers on the power filter button, and now it narrowed our database of 450 something million down to 68.3 thousand. Right? And so then I could start to look at insights for this. And now this, when we talk about data visualization, basically what we're doing here is we can give you insights into where all these UX and UI developers live. We can tell you the companies that they're in, what titles they have, and then we could look at diversity. So let's say we want to hire a female UX developer, then basically I could click female and it will reshuffle this and show us those same insights for female candidates. right? So the data visualization experience 29.9 are engineers with data visualization experience who could build something like the SeekOut Insights tab. Now, my internet is unstable. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
You got a little
Excellent.
robotic there, which doesn't surprise me because I've always suspected that you were a robot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So this is what we're looking for, somebody who could build something like this. All right. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to go with our first contestant. Who will it be? Does one of you want to raise your hand first?
Cyndy.
Yes.
Susanna?
Raise the other
We'll go with
person's
Susanna.
hand, Cyndy.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Game on. All right. Let me share my screen here, y'all.
All right.
All right. Sharing 1, 2. Can y'all see me? Oh, that was gnarly. All right. Can y'all see my screen? Thumbs up.
Yep. We got
All
you.
right. Sweet. Okay. So when I thought about this particular prompt being one that this was going to be a front-end developer, the first thing I thought of was using SeekOut's current title filter, or excuse me, operator. So when I was building out my search, I'm trying to search for, again, a front-end developer, but I also know that a developer can also be called an FED for short, or an engineer or a programmer, or even a software engineer, which is abbreviated SWE. So I also used the asterisk, which is a wildcard in SeekOut search. So that way I didn't actually have to type out front end, front dash end, front space end, et cetera, et cetera. So that was my first rationale. My second here, okay, we're going to refresh, I guess, was that I wanted to eliminate particular titles. And again, since I'm just looking for a front end engineer, but I use this engineer parameter, I wanted to eliminate any back-end engineers, mobile engineers, UX, UI engineers, etc. When I first pulled out my results, I noticed that there were some like programmer analysts that were populating, as well as system analysts. So I went on ahead and negated those sorts of terminologies as well from the current title. Then the next part of the prompt was, yes, we need a front-end engineer, but we also need somebody with that data visualization experience. So I first wanted to say, okay, if I'm only searching for like a generic engineer, I want something front-end related actually in their profile. So what I did is I went to Glossary Tech, and they have an entire front-end technology section, which details all these various technologies. I'm going to scroll to the bottom here really quickly, but there's 6 pages of these. So I actually scraped this page using Instant Data Scraper so that I had all of these keywords. And then I built out a string based on these keywords here. So that being said, all right, you'll notice a whole lot of front-end terminology here, like a whole lot. And again, I scraped this, so it didn't take that long, probably less than 5 minutes. Now, after that, the data visualization piece, I don't know much about data visualization, but I figured in somebody's profile, they could say something like, okay, I visualize data. So it's not always called data visualization, or maybe somebody data visualizations. So I just did something very generic, visualize, and then an asterisk again. And again, I don't know too much about data visualization. So I did a quick Google and I found a list of top data visualization software and included that keywords throughout my search as well. So this is a very broad search in terms of looking, again, just for front-end engineers with that data visualization experience. And as you can see, there's a lot of candidates. So these probably aren't going to be the cream of the crop for building out a product like SeekOut's Insight tabs. But by further refining this search for particular technologies that SeekOut uses or what have you, I would be able to find the ideal candidate for them. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay.
No, this is great. I think we'll do it a really structured way in how you've looked at it, Susanna. So it's fantastic to see the different components. in how you pull together and using even the stars and other stuff. So
there was a little
Right.
method to my madness.
yes.
All
Greg
right.
Hawks is saying in the comment that's a lot of words. And the beauty of
Yeah.
power filters, Greg, is that this is a single click and you don't see, the average user doesn't have to see all these words when you convert it to a power filter.
Absolutely. Now, do you think you could scroll down for me, Susanna? I want to have everyone see really quick. You used a little bit of syntax, and I want people to see kind of what is accepted here.
Yeah.
If you could scroll down to the bottom of that box and click on advanced.
Okay.
Right there, advanced search tips. So, if you're a user and you're wondering kind of where she came up with some of these commands or field searches, you can see those here.
Yeah, the or and not. In addition to this, yes, you have a plethora. Ooh, that's double word score. A plethora of different operators here. So I mentioned the
pretty good.
Okay, what just happened? Was that in my head, or did everybody hear that? No,
I
didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just you.
Yeah, okay. I'll roll with that. So yeah, I use the current title operator here, but as you can see, there are many, many other operators. And then SeekOut also has even more advanced search, which I did not use in this case, but all very helpful for your advanced Boolean nerding out. Yes.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Now, Anoop seems to be the nurturer on the call, right? Anoop was really positive. How about the other judges? I don't think we have we don't have a Simon Cowell on the call, but does anybody want to, obviously there's a lot of work that went into kind of the keywords that she chose and some interesting techniques there to find the synonyms when she didn't necessarily know all the synonyms, right? So that's a great lesson for everybody, kind of how to be resourceful when that happens. Now, let's start looking at the Boolean. What would you guys say, Eric or Shally?
I'll go first.
Anyone?
Yeah, the first thing I notice on the Boolean is that we're looking for current title, which is a great starter package. But what about past titles? What about headlines? And what about summaries? Because people tend to put their summary, headline, what they want to do or what they've done, not just their current title. And many people have been promoted to more experienced titles, so that maybe they manage an engineering group, and previously they've been a full stack or a front-end developer doing this work for 20 years prior. We've missed all those people in this search.
That's a very good point. I thought about that, but then I thought I was overthinking it.
No, and I think that the really important thing, if you think about like where a power filter fits in, is what the power filter is meant to do. It doesn't want to get too narrow. It wants to create the right database to really begin your search. Like that, sometimes that might be all of our top competitors. We've got one in here that it's every company who had a layoff during COVID, right? And so yeah, that would open it up a tad by doing what Eric said.
Big fan that you started with titles, because titles are what are on resumes and are on LinkedIn profiles. So it's great you start with titles. But if you think about your own resume, you're going to have more past titles on your resume than your current titles, unless you have multiple jobs. So always start with past _ titles with an S as your first search, because you'll get lots more results with that. Then think about the way the LinkedIn profile is structured. You could take that same everything after the colon there and then search for headlines or search for summary and then search for the current title. 4 separate areas using the same block of text as you did there, and you'll gain tremendously more candidates.
Love it. Hey, I want to, Shally, did you have anything you wanted to say about her string quickly? Cyndy has not presented yet, and we've got 10
Yes,
minutes.
but not quickly. So let's go to the next one.
Do you want to go to the next one, and then okay, we're gonna start with Shally after the next presentation.
Okay,
so
I can do both.
All right, Cyndy, do you want to share your screen?
Okay, can you see mine?
Yep.
So I have a little bit different approach, and because titles are so different across the board, so what I did is I started out with data visualization and then kinds of data visualization. So part to whole, deviation. I looked this up and found different ways that data is shown on web pages. And then I added in the front end components here. And then I added in some data visualization components, keywords, etc. And when I got those results, I started looking through them and found that I was getting a lot of data scientists, so I got rid of them, a lot of analysts, a lot of researchers, and GIS kind of people. So I did a not search with those. That's it. Mine's pretty simple.
All right. So we'll start with Shally.
Okay. So a couple of things. I am not a big fan of negative search. I haven't been a big fan of it for a long time. It can be useful, but there are some pitfalls or rabbit holes that you can jump into really without knowing it. And both of you, unfortunately, fell into traps with the negative search. Anoop, I'm going to say this to you just between you and I. Nobody else is listening, right? Do you remember that time when I told you, why can't we do minus current title? And you said, who would ever want to do a negative search? And I said, well, I don't like doing it, but somebody's probably going to want to do it. Remember that? Okay, now back to what I was saying before. Even though I'm not a huge fan of it, it can be useful. But the problem is, let's just take one example. I'm not picking on anybody. It's just an example that helps illustrate. When you use not intern, okay? I was an intern. So on my resume, the word intern appears. So you threw me out.
So this should have been current title, not intern.
Okay.
Yes. Current title, yeah.
That would be much more accurate if that was included. Yeah.
Yeah, so those should be current title, yeah.
Correct. So also, just as a side note, you can put current title, colon, and then parentheses and all of the knots together.
Right.
So you can nest them all. It would just save you a little bit of trouble. You know what? I'm really lazy, so that's probably not a big deal. It'll help you, do things a little bit faster. But yes, that would be much more accurate. Whenever you're going to use a negative, it's important to use it in a field that limits your the opportunity to throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, right? Like taking out minus jobs on a Google search, you just eliminated everybody because everybody's had a job before. So, all right. Then the next thing is with current title and past title. This is something that I find very useful, and that is to, as Eric said, use current title and past titles together. But I separate them so that the current title is the accurate representation of what I need, and the past title is the broader representation of it. So what I'm saying is, when you use negative keywords to try to eliminate things, you're throwing things out that you don't necessarily want to throw out. And when you're using titles, you're including too many things that you exclude others. So both of those have kind of like a limiting effect, right? So I would say to both of you that it is better to be more accurate in the inclusion of keywords without fields than it is to try to think about all the ways you can exclude the possible things that you don't want to exclude. If I want to buy a car, I'm going to say, I want a 1997 red Corvette. That's very specific. I Google 1997 red Corvette, and I'm going to get exactly that. But sometimes what people do with search strings is they say, not helicopter, not boat, not airplane, not submarine, not building, not rabbit, not snake. And you're eliminating all kinds of things that wouldn't have come up in your search if you just did 1997 red Corvette.
Well, I didn't have those things. I mean, I only put things that came up after I did the search. Then I excluded things that had come up in the search.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that less complex, more simple, but more accurate usually works better. And it helps you avoid some of these things. So those are the two things that I would say. Overall, the searches were very deeply thought through, and I really appreciate all the extra keyword research that you did. That's something that I always preach. You got to do that. Susanna, it's totally fine that you don't know what visualization is, because you're not going to know that every time you get a new rec, right? That's what we do as sourcers in a way that differentiates us a lot of times from recruiters, is we have to go figure all that stuff out. But I would just say, rather than say all visualization technologies, think about, what does a visualization person do? They help visualize data. And so think of the phrases: visualize data. That phrase, visualize data, is going to be in anything, whether it's Power BI or you name it. That's the essence.
Very cool. 30 minutes might be too short for this, you guys. We have 4 minutes left, right? 4 minutes left. So have the judges been communicating behind the scenes?
No, I haven't been doing it. I should go back to my Slack screen.
let's give the judges just a minute to jump in and have a little text strand together. Now, one of the things we said to, and I'm sure that's why all hundreds of you are here, is because we said we were going to give away SeekOut socks, right? And who wouldn't go for a pair of SeekOut socks?
They're so comfy.
Awesome.
All right. And so the winners of the SeekOut socks, we've got Stacy Ratliff, Ty Cashin, Cation, sorry if I said that wrong, Vikisha Taylor, Leslie Chen. And then I think we've got one more coming, Brandon Barber. So if I said your name, you have a pair of SeekOut socks on the way. And in the Pacific Northwest, they do socks right. These are not cheap, horrible socks. These are nice socks. So yeah, you will be pleased with your socks. Now, obviously, we try to keep this really educational on Boolean, that you do not have to have access to SeekOut to take something, right? However, if you're interested in access to SeekOut, then you go to this seekout.io/showdown, and we will jump on and show you around and give you a tour. That is never something that we would not be open to. So if you're interested, seekout.io/showdown. Now we're going to take it to the judges. I think they have conferred. Do we have any winner yet?
Go
ahead, Anoop.
Hey, can I say one thing, Anoop?
Yes.
So first off, these people came in. This is the first time we've done this. They had no idea what they were in for. So everybody give them a round of applause for participating, right? Thank you for doing this and for being here. It was awesome. Now, the winner of this, basically what we're going to do is you're going to work with the judges and refine it a little bit more, and then you will have that power filter with your name on it inside SeekOut. So I just wanted to thank everybody before we announce a winner, because this was awesome. Go ahead, Anoop.
Okay, so first of all, I think both were incredible in terms of, what I like to see is a lot of structure. So, you think about the titles, you think about what it means to be front end, you think about the technologies, visualization, packages that are there. You want to exclude some things that using the analytics, you can see some things that are not relevant showing up. So, both Susanna and so in fact, the structure for both Cyndy and Susanna was the same in terms of, if you look the elements. I felt Susanna went a little bit deeper in exploring from the dictionary on all of the packages, that can be there. All of the technologies can be there. I felt Cyndy actually went a little specific when she added, bar charts, this and that. Actually, packages support all of them. And that rarely constrained the number of candidates that you came up with. as a result of that. But again, it's just a great way, structured, logical thinking. Susanna, I also liked all of your use of stars and regular expressions, so, which make it easy, so you don't have to write all of the variations, and that really helps. So I think the judges together, what we are saying, is Susanna, you are the winner of this, but at the same time, both Cyndy and Susanna, thank you so much. Incredible job, logical thinking. I think all of us have learned a lot from the process, and I think everybody watching hopefully goes away learning a lot and having fun.
I know I did.
Yep, it was fun. Thank you guys. Thank you both for participating in the first SeekOut Showdown. And we will probably do this, I'd say, twice a month is what we're thinking. So
I'm available next Friday at 2:30. Yeah.
Well, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. This is fun. All right, you guys.
Happy
Thank you
Halloween.
all, and have a great weekend.
Happy Halloween. Please take
Thank you,
care.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.